Hello and welcome everyone to another installment of Sleepy Hollow. And specifically, we are playing the adventure of From Within It Devours, a brand new scenario for the game. And I am joined by a few players tonight. We'll be continuing the storyline. Real life happens, people can't make it, but the show must go on. So I am going to hand the stage very briefly to my players to introduce their characters. I will provide a brief synopsis of where we are up to this point, and we'll jump right back into the action. So, Eric, can you please introduce your character and who you are and what's going on with you?
Sure. For a moment, I was in three windows on the live stream. I could be all three of them. I'll play them all. Um, but yeah. Oh, yay! We got Jack back. Um,
Welcome.
my name is Eric. You can sometimes see me as Erock Van Roxalot online. I am playing Calm John von Braun, who is
Woo!
a hello. Who's a retired Hessian, which means soldier. I had to look up. Um, They are from the village of Sleepy Hollow, but at 10 years old, they joined to be a drummer boy for the Revolutionary Army and have fought for the United States Army for the past 20 years. They just kind of grew up and came of age amidst all the post-Revolutionary War conflicts. Um, and they are now retired and looking for something to do to feel important. And that's how Calm John von Braun found his way to assist these do-gooders in ending the purge on Sleepy Hollow. If you want to know looks-wise, he's kind of you still can't not take off some elements of the uniform. So whether it's a jacket, whether it's a belt, a sash, he'll be wearing something uniform-esque. He'll have his musket on him, or no, his black powder um, pistol, um, and he'll have his very battered combat saber. Um, and he's just, a typical retired person who wants to still feel important and useful and also reconnect with everyone in this village he has rose-colored memories of.
All right, thank you very much. So, Lenny, aka Malachi.
Yes, Malachi Smith.
Let's
He
hold
is
this. Woo!
a follower of the way. His patron is named the Keeper of the Way. And they believe in maintaining balance in all things for the most part. So he is back in, well, not back. He's at Sleepy Hollow for the first time, trying to look for redemption, more or less, from his past. There was a pretty big tragedy that he was involved in with a previous cult. So yeah, so now he is traveling and looking for the ways to right the wrongs that he.
All right. And last but certainly not least, Jack Tatters.
Hey, so I have forgotten the name I picked out last time. Do you guys remember the first name that I had? I'm
Isaac.
looking for my. Oh yeah. So
Isaac Emiro.
yes, Isaac Emerald, uh, is Acadian. So uh, um, French Indigenous fellow from uh what we now call Canada. Um, Probably either like Prince Edward Island or what was St. John, if I think is what it was, or Newfie, around that area, if I remember right.
New
Anyway, don't
Brunswick.
quote me on geography. Right,
New
right.
Brunswick.
Yeah, New
Yeah.
Brunswick. That's right. I'm
Yes.
sorry, my geography is always terrible, very
That
terrible. Anyway,
that's
so
okay. I kind of know a little bit about Canadian geography.
ah, okay, yeah. Well, I'll trust you on that then. Um, so was vaguely, I think, involved in revolutionary stuff. Um, Probably in less of an official capacity and in more of a um, uh, extra official capacity, um, and in other random conflicts. Um, and has kind of a veteran feel about him and pretty experienced hunter tracker, walks with a limp because of an old injury, has I think probably some kind of cane, even if it's just a walking stick. Has been traveling with Ginny, and he's invested in keeping that barely within the bounds of propriety. I think a lot more interested than she is. Um, and that's what I remember. So I have my notebook here, and I'll get my character sheet out. So yeah,
Thank you
that's
very
I
much.
like. Yeah, can't wait to
Well,
play again.
well, we're glad to have you back. So what
Yeah,
I'll do is I'll just give a very brief synopsis of what happened last session. It won't take too long. Um, so as we know, all of you have arrived in Sleepy Hollow for a variety of reasons, and you are presented with a interesting conundrum. There have been a series of poisonings and illnesses in town, and that's causing no small amount of concern. And you have agreed to help Matthias Van Brunt, who is one of the proprietors of Potter's Tavern, to get to the bottom of it discreetly, because a lot of the people who have been falling sick were people who had had meals at the tavern, and obviously that's bad for business for a variety of reasons. But Matthias has had nothing to do with the poisonings. He doesn't know what's going on. And Calm John von Braun, who is originally from Sleepy Hollow, offered to sort of pave the way and to get you guys connected with certain people to try to learn a little bit about what's going on. So you went to see Samuel Fletcher, who is a huntsman and trapper of some local renown, and John knew him as a boy, so they were of an age. And from him, you learned that have been some new developments in town because Matthias, although there's a lot of talk in town, as small communities are wont to do, and a lot of the locals are inclined to blame the traveling traders for the sicknesses, and a lot of the traders are indigenous. And Matthias, of course, does a lot of business with the indigenous traders, and he doesn't want bad blood, and he doesn't think it's their fault. And he's very wary of casting blame, which is why he's hired you to look into the matter. So, and he pointed out Samuel Fletcher as being someone who travels around the area quite a bit and would know what's going on. And so when John led you to Samuel's cabin in the woods, um, he told you that there is this spiritual fellow named Nathaniel who has a quote unquote cathedral in the woods. And he came from out east, possibly from Boston, which might be important for Malachi, who is also from the Boston area, as I recall. But he came with fire and brimstone of a sort, and he has a tree stump pulpit, and he's ministering to people. And a couple of Sleepy Hollow people from Sleepy Hollow do go to the services, but it seems to be a lot of traveling people who have come with him and have set up almost like a tent town around his pulpit, and he's giving them spiritual comfort. And what Samuel also told you is that there's a fellow who travels around called Sebastian, who's a tinker. He's called Sebastian the Tinker, and he travels with his cart around the surrounding towns and sells people what they need or what they didn't realize they needed.
Okay.
Has he got on mute for everyone else?
I think he froze.
Well, can we thaw him out? Everyone think warm thoughts.
Here we are. Okay. On my character sheet.
Nice.
Yeah. Finding the right dot notebook amongst all the other dot notebooks was like
The screen got a little bit frozen. Can you guys able to hear me?
We can now.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I'll just convert over. Yeah, so it's weird that my whole screen got frozen, which is weird. So what part did you hear up to?
um, I know you were talking about the cathedral in the wilderness of the woods, and you were talking about the Tinkerer. I think about the Tinkerer is where we left off, right? Did anybody else get more?
Daniel Austin.
Okay. So what I will say is that you had learned that I'm just going to try to reboot my computer here. It's frozen. So switched over to phone. So Sebastian the Tinker travels all over the place, and he does regularly show up to the cathedral in the woods, and he plies his wares there, and he also plies his wares in Sleepy Hollow just outside the general store. And so that was one possible avenue for you guys to pursue. So the other thing that you were aware of is that there was a young man who regularly drops off supplies at Potter's Tavern named Adam Metzger, and you had learned that Adam also shows up at the sermons that are offered by Nathaniel. So
Yeah.
what you decided to do was you were going to try to pay Adam a visit at his farm to learn a little bit more about what the connection is. And John had a horse and carriage, so he went because he was staying with his family in the at his family farm. So he brought his horse and carriage into Sleepy Hollow. You guys quickly rode out to the Metzger farm, and Adam was away, presumably doing business or work in Sleepy Hollow. But you talked to his younger brother and sister, Jacob and Anna, and you
Just his
learned,
younger brother. Those were his younger brother and sister. I thought they were kids. I knew
yes,
they were kids. I just assumed they were his. That's right.
yeah, they were like 13, 14 years old.
Okay.
But what you had,
Oh,
okay,
you're back now? Yeah.
yeah, I'm back. Sorry, there we go. So what you had learned is there we go. What you had learned is that Adam's father had died several years ago, and their mother is infirm. So it's just up to the three of them to keep the farm going. So that's why Adam does odd jobs in town for Potter's Tavern and other places just to make some extra money. So, and aside from that, um, you did ask his siblings um, about Sebastian the Tinker, And they had a really positive opinion about him because, he tells all sorts of stories about his life on the road, and he brings toys like ribbons for girls and tin soldiers for the boys, or spinning tops and things like that. So he brings all sorts of stuff, and he always seems to have things that everybody needs. And so you had decided that this was someone that you definitely wanted to explore a little bit further, not murder. And so what happened is you then decided to go back to town, and you actually caught up with Sebastian outside the general store, and there were all sorts of people milling around his cart, and he was selling all sorts of stuff. And Malachi noticed that Adam Metzger was there in the crowd, and he was buying a few rolls of wallpaper, which Ginny noted was a vivid shade of green. And you asked Adam about this cathedral in the woods because you heard that Adam had gone to a few of the services, and Adam told you that Nathaniel's camp was located near a natural spring which had the purest water he'd ever tasted, and that the sermons themselves were very illuminating, and they gave him a sense of purpose in life that he hadn't found before, and that he honestly felt that he had become a better person for going to these services, and then he left. And then you guys decided to actually talk with Sebastian, and then you noticed up close and personal that he had an old hanging scar around his neck. He was a black man and originally from Virginia, and he
Still
didn't really
is.
talk about his past. And he said, his life is the open road, and he pulls his cart. He used to have a donkey, but his donkey was his dearest and closest friend. He lost the donkey, but he still pulled the cart because no one could replace a friend. And he told you that he did go to Nathaniel's sermons from time to time, but he has little time for deep spirituality these days. His life is the road. His life is getting people what they need. And for him, you got the impression that for him, it's more of a business transaction than anything else. But you took your leave of him, and you had some preliminary discussion where just before we left off, that there might be some value in attending one of Nathaniel's sermons just to see what's going on with that. And you weren't sure about the role that Adam played in all of this because he seems to have his thumb in a few pies, and you're not sure how deeply involved he is in everything. So that's where we left it. And we'd agreed that you guys were going to at least discuss things and plan your next steps, and that's where we had left it. So that's where I would like to begin. So with all this information, where would you where would you like to explore next?
And we are currently out. Like I remember, we found Sebastian sort of near the general store, where a great named person named Dirk Van Ripper was
Mm-hmm.
the general store person. So we're around the general store area of like near Potter's Tavern, Sleepy Hollow
Yeah,
proper. Okay.
you are. Yeah.
And then I had a quick question because this whole thing is about um, people have been plagued and poisoned or something, and we need to. Are there any of those who are sick that we can talk to, or are they just dead?
You can ask around, and you can find out who has been recently sick.
Okay. Um,
You can
so
certainly do that.
so Isaac is there, Malachi is there, and our Buffett Moggins. What was her name?
Oh, Ginny.
Uh, Ginny,
Grinder
thank
Buffett.
you, thank you, thank you. Ginny Grinderwald.
Um, he's there, and then there was someone else who was silent. But anyways, um, so we want to talk to Metzger, and we want to see this cathedral. Okay. Aside from visiting the cathedral in the woods and hearing what this Nathaniel fellow has to say, I believe we should possibly interview some of the sick with this plague and possibly see where they have gotten it. If there's anything shared in their recent history that could be the source of this plague. And I will try to keep one character voice for this session and not four like last time.
Do whatever feels right.
That's a fair
Yep.
idea. The more information we have, never hurt.
And you being of a medical history, Mr. Isaac, might be able to come in handy in surmising the source of this plague and how it affects people.
Most likely, yes. So,
Jack, if you're talking, you're muted.
yeah.
No, just listening so far.
So yeah, John turns to you and asks you about your
Okay.
medical expertise and pursuing these finding more information out about what's plaguing the plagued.
Yes, I have been quite concerned about that. I should certainly like to examine one of them safely, of course, but more importantly, I think would be to talk with someone who has some authority here, who they would listen to and just tell them how they ought to keep it from spreading.
Yes.
And so I
In order
thought
to
it
do
best
that,
to, yeah,
in order to do that, we should figure out the source of this plague so we can stop it from spreading.
all right. Wait, so Adam was buying green wallpaper
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know why. But
No, Ginny noticed that it was a very vivid shade of green.
But if I remember right, his farm was like on the brink of collapse, right? Like they only have the three young ones to work it, and which means they're probably not doing that well financially.
No, not overly. No,
Mm,
and the fact that
no,
extra odd jobs would
yeah.
lead you to believe that
hmm
there's not enough money
So
coming
that's an
from the
odd
farm.
purpose. Unless, how old is he? Is he about marrying age?
Okay, I can tell you. Just give me a second.
Okay. Because if he's like somewhere between like 19 and 25, then that would make a lot of sense that he's putting the house up because he needs someone to come help work. So that would actually be make perfect sense that he's like, oh, uh, shit, I need to make this house pretty and get married right quick. Someone's gotta help save this farm because otherwise
He
it's very mysterious.
he is
I'm sorry, that little detail is just weirding me out.
no,
No,
that's
it's
Like
good
that's
to
like
pick up on
Chekhov's
that.
wallpaper to me, right? But like if he's looking to get married, then that makes total sense, right?
Yes.
Which he should right now in this situation. He needs to. If he's
I don't know. Last session, everything sounded like a trap. Some green wallpaper. I was like,
right.
is it a curse that they need to see green?
Ad,
I don't
Adam
know.
is probably he's definitely in his early 20s at the most.
Well, there you go. Okay. Maybe Ginny should give him advice. Maybe she'd be like, no, it's not like green. Just like green flowers on it. Oh my god. Because okay. That struck me. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, back to the plague. Are we still here? Are we still like at the wagon, or did we go
You
somewhere else?
you are still at the wagon. There's still people
Oh my
buying
god.
stuff from Sebastian. So like I said,
Okay.
you're in C2. Like
Okay.
you are here
Okay.
in. So
Is
you right now
it
you're talking amongst yourselves. So and I know
okay?
that you were away the last session. So I will
Okay.
leave it open for you to ask questions to bring yourself up to
Sure.
speed. I was just giving you the exact summary of what
Okay.
was happening this time.
All right. Wonderful. Well, if Adam hasn't already left, has he already left?
But
What
that
was your
is a
question?
good point.
I'm
Like,
asking if Adam has already left.
Oh, we haven't found him yet, right?
Oh, okay. No, I
No,
thought
we
he
were.
was here at the wagon, at the Tinker's wagon with us.
well, actually, Jack, does Isaac mention the whole thing about the wallpaper? Like, if the farm isn't doing too well, like, why is he buying wallpaper?
Sure. Like, yeah, if I
Okay.
know about that, I'll talk about Virginia. I'm just like, I hope you
Yeah,
give me advice on
because
your wallpaper. Like, it's like, that's my theory. I'm like, because, you know, that's Isaac's theory. Because he was like, but you should have told him to buy something prettier. And like, also curtains.
so with that conclusion or that observation made, what does that make you guys think?
And is Adam? Are we talking to Adam, or have we already talking to Adam, or were we looking for Adam?
Adam, you did talk to Adam, and then he bought his wallpaper. You talked to him, and then he left. So he's gone.
Okay. Okay. Hmm.
You don't know where he is.
You know, I had not thought about the wallpaper. I thought maybe that was one of the things he was sent to buy for someone else. But you're right. If he's buying it for his own farm, there seems to be wiser ways one would spend their money when they're running out of it.
Well, if he's looking to marry, he's got to pretty the place up. And he needs help out there, so he ought to. So that's not
But
that
then
much of a
it,
mystery.
but then it being such a deep green seems a
Well,
rather strange color if you're one's trying to attract a lady.
it is. It is. The lad. The, well, yeah, it is unfortunate.
Does make me
Yeah,
think
I
of the
think
wilderness and the cathedral. If he was buying it for that, that surely is a mistake.
would he buy it for the cathedral?
With Malachi's like occult knowledge, would he get an inkling of the color or the color being significant to anything occult wise?
You can make a roll. Um, let you
Yeah,
make a
like is
roll.
that particular color made with like a specific, like is that particular dye made with a specific thing?
Right. Or like, well, yeah, and the mom is sick.
Mhm.
So I'm just wondering.
Yes,
What would
maybe.
you like me to roll?
How
That's a
about
really good idea.
yeah, that you're on to something here. So how about let me just pull up the skills and attributes here.
That'd be like a lore knowledge.
Yeah, Lord knowledge. Thank you, Lord knowledge and wits. So yeah, make a Lord knowledge roll, please.
Is
Okay.
there any way I could help him? I know that I did that
Yeah,
last time, but
you can. So if you're going to help him by suggesting things to think about, then Malachi will get an extra die.
Right.
And likewise, Isaac could also help and give Malachi a second additional die.
Also have a stress die. I think I have
yes,
Yeah,
you
you got a stress die as well on top of that. Yeah.
one. Yeah, we'll make that one stress. Okay, so I got a helper die, stress die, my 8 die, and
Two
oh wait,
two
I
helper
did
die.
2 helper die. Yep. All right, that was green. Okay, here we go. Holy moly!
Super green.
All right.
Oh, I lost one. Where'd it go? Shite. Let's see. Uh, oh, that's a 6. So I did get at least one success on the helper one. The
Okay.
stress die was not a 1, so that's good. And yeah, so I got a success at least. Holy moly!
Okay. All
I'm
right.
not gonna worry about the one that fell on the floor for now.
From an occult perspective, uh, green usually signifies rebirth and virulence of life. So, I mean, if with that bit of knowledge extrapolating, if Adam is actually buying green wallpaper to put up in his family home, perhaps the green wallpaper may have some sort of significance to help his mother regain her health. The only way to know that for sure would be to go back to the house to see if the wallpaper's actually been put up.
Mhm.
Um, Green can have all sorts of other symbolism, but it also depends on the patterns as well. Because as we know, like wallpaper at this time had very intricate patterns in it. And sometimes in some, and you would be aware in some occult circles, sometimes a cult or a coven would look at the patterns in a design, whether it's in a book or in wallpaper or something, especially if it's mathematical, and use that as a meditative aid to get deeper into a ritual. So there could be any number of things. So all that to say, there could be a reason why he would be buying this wallpaper. But the only way to know for sure would be to go back to the house and see how it is being used.
Mhm. Well, if I remember my studies correctly, uh, the color it does have much significance in many different occult rituals. The only way to know for sure would be to have to go all the way back to his farm. Um, but that's something to think about.
Well, if he just left with the green wallpaper and we rode the horse and wagon, he'd probably, unless it is part of a larger project, it would be hard to tell how he's using this particular purchase. But I love this countryside and don't mind taking a trot out there. Um, and he also pointed us the direction of where to find the cathedral, right?
I was just
He
gonna
did.
ask, yeah, how far away was the church from Adams? Do we know on the map?
The cathedral in the wood is north of town,
Oh, okay.
and
Oh, right,
so
right.
yeah,
Okay.
it's
So,
in the wild forest. It's probably honestly it's once because you can only take a cart, only take the carriage part way, then you've got to get off and walk through the woods. It's probably about an hour and a half to get there.
Okay. Is that north of like Headless Horseman's grave and Sleepy Hollow Cemetery?
Yeah.
Okay. So off of my little map here. Um, the map is really helpful for all these names. We should put one on screen.
Little dot from where you guys are going. I think.
So what we think we should maybe peruse the. We never did go inside the Metzger home to see if there is an ample amount of green being used.
No, you never did. You talked to his younger siblings. I mean, realistically, that was reasonable conversation.
Yeah, it didn't seem. They did not seem too crazy.
No.
Um, but I remember there. I remember them. Their farm is rather south of this, on the southern end.
The other direction.
While we are here, shall we ask around for the infirm?
Yes.
Okay, then let us do this. Is there like, I see the store, I see the thing, is there like a hospital or doctor or medicine area of
Not
this village?
really.
Okay.
Not really. There's definitely no hospital. I mean, in this community, if you're sick, there are like wise women who will come to your
Midwives?
house. Like
Midwives and stuff?
Hannah Fletcher, so Samuel Fletcher's wife, is an herbalist and would be someone who would make house calls and diagnose what was wrong with somebody and hopefully.
Ah, so if we talk to Mrs. Fletcher, that's kind of closer by, I think. Um,
That's a solid.
find
And
out
she would
who she's
definitely
been
know.
treating. Yeah. Find out who she's been treating, because we didn't really talk to her at all. We just talked to Samuel Fletcher.
Hmm.
We could call upon them once more.
I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
Welcome back.
I lost connection there for a second. So about, I
While
was just going to say that Hannah Fletcher, people like her, would be the sort of people who would minister to the sick. So you just send word that you're feeling ill, and she would come back. She would come with her satchel of herbs, and she would see what ails you and give you something to make you feel better.
while you were gone, we found the headless horseman's head. We put it back on. Everything's chill.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, we're done. You solved the mystery. The adventure's over. Great. I'll tell Rick and Lucas that there's no need to continue with Return of the Headless Horseman. You guys have
Yeah, it was right. It was right there behind the. I
yeah,
found it on the shelf at General Store.
totally. Yeah,
Fashion.
yeah. Thank you.
Anyway,
You guys have saved us so much work. I mean, it's just really.
it's the least I can do. Anything for charity.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so we were talking about going to see Hannah and ask her about, again, go out to the Fletcher residence, um, see her, ask about who she's been treating and what she's been treating, and if she knows of any similar sources of it. Unless
Okay.
anyone has a better suggestion of it, and we can do this on the way to the Metzger residence to inspect what he's doing with green wallpaper.
They are both in the same direction. Two
Okay.
birds with one stone, so as they say.
So you have two avenues to pursue. Uh, I'm not going to suggest you split the party because you guys are so sparse right now. Although that would be awesome. I'd have so much fun with you guys if you did. All that being said, where do you guys want to go first?
Well, if I recall correctly, isn't like if we left the Van Ripper General Store area, wasn't like Woodbridge, Mill Pond, Devil Swamp area where the Fletchers were?
Map.
What?
I will have a look at the map and I'll
I want to
see.
say they were like we'd have to pass where the Fletchers were on our way to the Metzgers.
No, they're the Fletchers are in the opposite direction, conveniently.
Okay. And we're at Van
Mhm.
Rippers. Van
Yeah.
Rippers. Okay. What do you
So
folks think we should do
the Met,
first? I'm here to help you.
the Metzgers are in the direction of the Van Tassel estate, so that direction.
Yes.
Whereas As the Fletchers would be beyond the headless horseman's grave.
Uh,
Conveniently opposite directions for all of you.
okay, and then heading up that way, which would be is how we would get to the Cathedral of the Wood.
Yes.
So yeah, so we go north, west, or southwest.
Yeah, so perhaps we do the southerly thing and then head north for the two things. But I am here to assist your research in this matter. Please, where do you think
Well,
we should go?
I think
Oh,
your I think your plan with finding out from the Fletchers is pretty solid.
and what say you,
Yes.
Mr. Isaac?
Hmm. Jack?
Okay.
I forgot to unmute. What I said was, whatever we choose, let's move decisively and uh, make our movements count. Make the most of our daylight.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess we'll ride off to the Fletcher residence again. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Without too much ado, like it in a bit under an hour, you make it to the Fletcher residence. So you are back there, and so Samuel and Hannah are there, and they welcome you back. So you've returned.
Hi, we forgot to ask you about something that's been very important that we're researching. Forgive the second visit in such a short time.
Oh, think nothing of it. I mean, these are strange times that we all live in. What is it that you need?
Well, we wanted to discuss with Hannah if she's been helping to apply her medicinal aid to the townsfolk for this, what seems to be plaguing them. We wanted to ask her about the plague and if there's any shared history in the victims and where they could have gotten it.
By all means, my wife is an open book. If you wish to speak to her about it, she will certainly share with you everything that she knows. Anna, our friends are back. They need your assistance. Oh, really? Well, I'll do what I can. So Hannah comes out of their cottage and she looks you all up and down and can tell she's got an apron with pockets in it. She's got all sorts of herbs in it that she's obviously preparing tinctures or something, going about her herbalistic work. And so she says, what is it that you would like to know?
Your work with the possibly afflicted people from the tavern. What can you tell us about the symptoms and possibly anything else that you may have found odd?
Well, I can tell you without hesitation that the ailment that struck these people was something that they consumed. It is not some malady in the air. It is not the vapors. It is nothing of those things. Definitely something that they ate. Their humors were out of balance. They were all, as one, afflicted of the sorest pains in the stomach. and many of them were induced to vomiting because of the pain and distress within them.
Okay.
I was able to provide a mild remedy to alleviate the worst of it, but very clearly it was something that they ate that poisoned them.
Mm. Did vomiting alleviate the symptoms? Were those who purged their stomachs offered milder symptoms than those who did not?
That I cannot say.
Right.
I suspect,
Mm.
well, here, I strongly suspect that that which made them ill was something that was still in their homes.
Uh,
To remove that which poisoned them would require them to expunge the source, if you will. But short of inspecting everything in their larders and such, I could not say what it was that they consumed that made them so ill.
I'm sorry, you say you believe they're sick from something in their environs and not what they could have consumed or eaten or drank.
I believe it is something that they consumed, yes,
But from their
but
own
I do
home.
not. But I do not know what it is they could have consumed. The only way to know for certain would be to force them to destroy everything in their larders and to acquire everything anew, and I would never force that on a person.
Do you know if there's just something they all ate or drank, or is it many different things?
The only thing that I can say for certain is that all of them had partaken of the food at Potter's Tavern. They had all gone for meals, but I did not ask specifically everything that they had eaten. They had had soups, they had had bread, they had had roasts,
I
pies.
mean, were they consuming these things all in the same day?
It was over a period of several weeks. Definitely. If you were to ask me, I would say it may be beneficial to inspect the supplies at Potter's Tavern. Inspect their larder. There you may find the source.
You should have done that when we were there. However, now that we know this information, that is on our way if we were to investigate. Have you been over to the Metzger's place?
Not in quite a while since their mother first fell ill. I don't often find myself down in that direction.
You've
It
not
is
been
a
caring
sad
for
it
them.
is a sad thing what befell their family. Very sad indeed. Adam bears a heavy burden upon his shoulders.
You've not visited since she's taken ill to provide care.
There are others who provide care who are closer to her and can attend to her needs.
Mr. Isaac, did I cut you off? I'm sorry. Did I interrupt you earlier? I heard you make a noise.
Oh, me? I'm dead.
Yeah.
Well, I do have a question. Isaac says this may seem a strange question, but I know many women will keep diaries, is there anyone of the town that has kept that keeps a very tidy diary, a detailed one that has tended the sick that I could inspect?
That is indeed a very good question.
Mm-hmm.
That
Perhaps
is that's a
even
very.
as
I'm gonna have to look
much
it up.
details as times, down to the day, down to the hour.
Well, there is actually one. Give me a minute until I get to the right
Well,
person here.
I heard there was a school teacher in town, so I had some hope.
Yes, he is a very disciplined man, but he does not pay over much attention
Uh,
to all these things. If you wish to know someone who
mhm,
documents things in town,
mhm,
I would go see Matthias's younger sister, Emily Van Brunt.
mm.
She is a writer and storyteller and collector of folklore. She always has a notebook under her sleeve.
And
And
has she
she
been
does
set to watch over the ill?
she may have been because
Right.
she does believe, as she is fond of saying, every tale holds a bit of truth if you know how to look. She does get about town. She is no
Sounds like
herbalist or anything of such, but she does have a
I see.
rational mind. And
Aha,
she is observant, very observant.
What was
good.
your last
These
name
are
again?
good qualities. This is
And
a Matthias's sister. Um,
yes,
like,
Emily Van
okay,
Brunt.
when I hear them talking about her, like Isaac looks kind of approving, like, like a fanciful girl with a quick mind. Okay, cool. Like, yes, I need a little assistant in this town. This is perfect. Well, his hope really is that, he knows that a lot of women will keep diaries and write down like a log of community events. So he's hoping someone will just be like, this person fell ill on this day and then expired at this time or vomited at this time on this day. And if there's just like, a tidy record of events, then that is invaluable information as to like the tracking, the spread and the like how it progresses. So much easier than just talking to everyone is to get one cohesive written account. So yeah, he'll be like, that would be fabulous. Okay.
Such ways, I'm sure, are all the rage in
Mhm.
modern towns, but I've not. It'd be great if Sleepy Hollow were to advance to such modern technologies. Unless we do have one. If we do have one, let's do that.
Wait,
Perhaps it's.
sorry?
Is there a communal record of sort of the goings on in the town? Or
Well, there is a parish ledger um, that would record births and deaths and things like that. But for things like maladies and sicknesses, probably not. It would be up to the individual family to record what happened amongst themselves.
well, happy.
Hmm.
Oh, product placement there too. Um,
Well done.
well, I try. I try. See, Rick. So you have a couple of avenues to pursue. So you have, just to get back to it, you have Adam Metzger's house, which is further away. You've got the cathedral in the woods to investigate. And now you have the possibility of talking to Emily Van Brunt to find out what to learn, but also there's the possibility of checking out the storeroom at Potter's Tavern to see if there's any evidence there. So
How
actually,
close,
you've got 4 avenues to look at if you wish.
how close is Van Brunt and Potter's Tavern?
Well, Emily Van Brunt lives in Potter's Tavern because she's in the family, so she's there.
I perhaps see a bush with 2 birds for us to throw 1 stone at.
Checking the stock there, good idea. Matthias seemed pretty quick to send us away from.
Yes. We should check their stocks and talk to this Van Brunt, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
if
thank
that's
you.
So back
decision
to the
made.
beginning. Back to the beginning. Oh my God. Okay.
This was last session too. We went to the same. We did a sort of a
Oh
yo-yo
my
pattern.
God. Yeah. Well, it's like honestly, I don't know what else to do. It feels like it's either that or to the cathedral, but that's way outside town. And like it feels like that's final confrontation phase, maybe. I'm trying to think about like, well, if I was writing an adventure, what would
Well, I'm
be
trying to think of
the
it like if we're trying to find the plague. I'm trying to think about like
yeah,
there's no
right.
reason to go to the cathedral at this point. It's
Yeah,
just
right,
curious.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, yeah,
Well,
right.
as they say, no plan survives contact with the enemy.
That's
So
true.
it's like when I was writing this, I was thinking out, okay, all these avenues, and of course, no fault to you guys, but you guys picked totally different ways to go about it, which is cool. It's organic.
Mm-hmm,
But so if
mm-hmm,
that's what you guys are going to do, so if I'm hearing correctly, you guys are going to go to Potter's Tavern to do a little bit of further investigation
mm-hmm,
to see
mm-hmm.
what to do. So why don't we take like 5 minute break and refresh ourselves? And I got to get some other information up on my screen, so I wrote it all down, but so I actually have it and I can remember it. And we'll pick up from there, and we'll see what else you guys can learn. Sound good?
Sounds
That'd
good.
be
All right, so give it 5 minutes and we'll reconvene. have made the decision to go back to Potter's Tavern, talk to Emily Van Brunt, and to perhaps investigate the storeroom to look at what's there to see if there's any evidence of tampering. So I will say that you guys have made your way back to Potter's Tavern. Some of you are staying there. I mean, John von Braun is, of course, staying at his family farm, and Ginny, of course, is staying with the school teachers,
Hmm.
dignified gentlewoman that she is.
Oh yeah.
So you are back at Potter's Tavern, and Matthias sees you and greets you and says, "How are things going? Have you discovered anything?"
Oh yes. No, you may not like it much.
"Well, do tell. What have you
Well,
discovered?"
it looks as if the one place all the sick folk have in common is all here.
My own food.
Yes. That is correct, right? But
Yes, not that it would be
okay.
your cooking, but more your food storage. We'd like to take
Mm.
perhaps a look at your larders. We wouldn't want to accuse your cooking at all.
No, there's no accusation. It is simply a fact, and now the truth of it must be found out.
Well, I absolutely. I mean, if you wish to inspect the storeroom and larder, please do
Yes.
so. But I will not hear a bad word spoken about my mother's cooking.
Oh, no,
Never.
we came directly and spoke to you, honestly, because we know that, well, you do not act like someone who has anything to hide. So you want this
It
sorted out as much as we do.
indeed not. I mean, I have already told you that the pain that this will inflict upon the family, and
Mm.
Potter's Tavern is a centerpiece of the community, and it is
Hmm.
a place where all are welcome. And it grieves me
Also,
that this is going on.
your younger sister, would you mind sending for her? I would like to ask her some things.
Oh, Emily, absolutely.
Yes.
Um, she's in her room. I will get her directly. In the meantime, he reaches into a pocket, gives you a key. This is for the storeroom, and he tells you where it is. The back, and he says all of our dry goods and preserves are there. You are, of course, free to inspect premises and see if you can find something. And if there is indeed something untoward, please tell me, and I will make sure that it is dealt with.
And we will do so.
Thank you.
Find out.
Okay, so he sends for Emily, and Emily comes down, and I don't know if how many of you have. So there she is, right there.
Huh.
So Emily comes downstairs, and she's looks at you all as an eye with an aura of intense curiosity, and says, "You," she points to John. "You I recognize vaguely. The rest of you are strangers to town. But Matthews has told me that you are here to help us out. So I am at your disposal. What would you wish to know?"
You recognize me, for I was a boy here in Sleepy Hollow before I joined the Revolutionary Army. Uh, but I am retired, and I found these folks trying to investigate what plagues certain members of our little community.
She looks at you more closely and she says, "I did a sketch of you before you went away. Hold on, hold on, hold on." So she runs off, she goes up the stairs, and you hear thumping upstairs and stomp, 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 stomp. And she comes back downstairs, and she has a piece of parchment, and it's obviously very childlike because she was quite young when she did it. But it was actually you don't need to make a roll for this, but you recognize yourself, John, in in the area right in front of the general store where people were being marshaled up to march off to the Revolutionary War, and you as a little drummer. And it's like a sketch, but you could very easily, very definitely pick yourself out in that crowd. And she said, I was really young, like I was maybe 8 years old at the time when I drew this. But to see all the people arrayed for battle and to see you and so young like me, but ready to go off. Anyhow, she hands it over to you. You keep this.
You have captured the hope I had. Ah, such hope in that young man's eyes. The world had not yet ruined him. I will treasure this.
Well, come what may, take that as an honest token of my esteem.
I am touched, Miss Emily. Are you doing anything there? I'm kidding.
It's like, yeah, once we ditch these people, let's go out to the disco. And it's like,
Um, young Emily, you don't know me. I'm a doctor. Yeah, do you? This is a strange thing to ask. Did you take records of the progress of the illness? You seem a bright and curious girl. I thought you might have. And
I did.
also, yes.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
And also, I was wondering if you would be my helper while we are in town searching this out.
If my brother does not need me, I would be happy to be of assistance to you.
Excellent.
Just, Maddie? Yes, Emily. Do you need me for anything right now? No, not that I can say. All right then. I guess I'm at your disposal.
Excellent. And I introduce her to Ginny and I say, and she, of course, will see to it that you are looked after properly.
Emily inclines her head politely towards Ginny, recognizing her obviously as a woman of substance and stature.
Mm-hmm.
I will not speak for be free as to what Ginny would do, but presumably Ginny would probably incline her head politely and say, "Pleased to meet you," etc.
So you said you have notes.
I do. This
Ah.
string of poisonings was very disturbing, very distressing for me, for Matthias, for my parents, for everyone. I mean, Potter's Tavern is like the heart of Sleepy Hollow, and for people to come here for comfort and cheer only to leave in sickness, that it's a wound. It really is a wound. So when I started noticing that people were getting sick, I did document what had happened. So I do have in my diary records of who had fallen sick and what their symptoms were, just because I thought it might be helpful.
Good. Excellent. This is good.
Good intuition on you, Miss Van Brunt.
Well,
And
thank you. I do my
I don't know.
best.
I don't know if there's a role to hide a little bit of smittenness, but he's a little smitten.
Well, you could make an empathy roll if you wanted to.
To hide his smitten.
Mm-hmm. His smittenness.
I think I give him a look, like a warning look, like, dude.
I did get a 6.
So what did you roll?
I rolled a 6, a 5, and a 3.
Okay, you successfully hide your infatuation,
Okay.
but the admiration is clear, and you can tell. You don't need to roll. You can tell Emily is looking, giving you an appraising look, because I mean, I'm guessing John, having been a soldier and all that, John is probably a fairly big guy, probably takes care of himself. He is an impressive specimen of humanity, I'm willing to bet. Not
Only
saying
a
he's like
5.
not saying you're like Fabio or something like that, but I mean you are no doubt worth looking at. Not saying eye candy, but you probably cut a pretty figure.
Little zaddy issues.
Mhm.
Jesus. All right,
Is
well,
there is there
I could
anyone
definitely give you a look like, don't, dude.
No, no, inappropriate, and she would never.
is there anyone in town that would have bad blood with your family?
I honestly can't really say. I mean, the only people who could possibly have anything close to animosity to my family would be Hans and Elsa Keller, but they, you know, they run a different tavern. They're outside of town, and right, Otto Müller. Sorry, I got the wrong name here. Just flipping between the pages. The Black Horse Inn, but Otto's tavern is on the outskirts, and he caters to a different clientele. But we've never striven to deprive him of business or anything like that. So I mean, I can't really say there's anyone who would wish us ill will. Now you make me think.
How could that?
No, I can't think of anyone who would want us to suffer or do poorly.
Well, if anyone does come to mind, please.
I will do so, and I will definitely tell you, Mr. Malachi, if I remember correctly.
Yes. Malachi Smith. How do you do?
Malachi Smith, you are a student of human behavior, are you not?
In what ways? Yes.
I see that in you. You have an eye that perceives deeper than many would expect.
Thank you for noticing.
I've
So, do
heard
you
of
want
that.
to ask Emily? What else do you want to ask Emily?
In order to see that, your eye must see deeper as well.
Well, I will say that since the loss of my husband a few years ago, I have seen that life is a canvas on which we paint paintings of all of our woes.
Mm.
And it has made me more watchful, more observant.
Oh.
And I take the time now as a widow to watch, to observe.
I see.
Have you had any observings of this cathedral in the wood?
Hmm.
I personally have been there, but I did hear young Mr. Metzger speak of it a few times. I personally have no need of alternate or Baptist theology, but I understand that it appeals to certain people. There are those who I have heard, though I have not seen, so I am only telling you what I hear. There are people who have come from miles around to set up a camp around the pulpit of this Nathaniel in his cathedral in the woods, to hear his miracles, to hear his words, and to find comfort. And I do not judge. Who am I to say whether this is a wrong thing or not? But it is not my path, it is not my way.
Hmm.
But there are a collection of people who are not of Sleepy Hollow who have gathered around this man to hear his truths.
Well, anyone with such a, or anyone or anything with such an allure has the potential to be hazardous.
No more hazardous than any devout churchman, to be honest.
Fair point.
Holy Writ can be interpreted in any way. But who are we? I mean, the divine word comes down to us. It is up to us to interpret it. That is how I see it, blasphemous as it may be. Those who wish to interpret the word of God for good or ill, those who hear that interpreted word are changed one way or another thereby.
Tell me, Miss Hannah Fletcher told us that you sometimes pop in over at the Metzger residence to take care of the Mother Metzger there, yes?
I have gone down on occasion. I am by no means a skilled, wise woman like Mrs. Fletcher, but I do know a thing or two passed down by my mother. Uh, Mrs. Metzger is indeed in a poor way, and Matthias has ensured that sufficient food and other essentials are sent down to the children to ensure that they have enough to eat since the loss of their father. I mean, Matthew Adam does, pardon me, Adam does what he can, but a farm, to maintain a farm is a lot of work. And there is, from what I gather, simply not enough money coming in. Adam does what he can, but we support. We support our own. This is what a community does.
This might sound like a weird question, strange as it may seem, but with such lack of funds, we saw him purchasing green wallpaper today. Would you know if his house is in particular need of wallpaper?
His house is very plain indeed. His father was a very abstemious man.
Ooh.
He did not stand for frivolity or decoration. Life was work. work unto death. That was his philosophy. His philosophy was also drink, and that led to other things. But he
I'm trying to Google what you just said.
Abstemious? Oh, it's a great word.
abstemious means no frivolity, just the pure
Mm-hmm.
essentials.
Oh,
Yeah. So
yes. I heard
yeah,
abstemious. I was like,
abstemious.
what the hell?
Yeah, no, abstemious. So they lived in a very aesthetic lifestyle. Like he
Yes,
was,
they
yeah.
very plain, very
Mm-hmm.
utilitarian. Everything is
Yeah.
strictly functional.
Oh, yeah. God, sounds miserable. Okay.
There's no balance.
Yeah. Okay. Huh.
Here we go. Word for the day: abstemious.
Yes.
Um,
Well, maybe while the two of you, if you have any more questions for her, Malachi would possibly start investigating the storeroom.
that would
We have no more questions, Miss Van Brunt, but I'm hoping that to have call to call on you again.
I would be pleased to provide assistance in any way that you wish. Um,
Oh, wait, she asked if you. He asked if you would assist him. Yes, I'm sorry.
so is there anything else that you want to ask of Emily?
I've got no further
Um,
questions, Your Honor.
no. I mean, if she's gonna be hanging out with us and like doing this assistant thing, then she's gonna be around anyway, and we can ask her whatever whenever we think of it. So it's not really a
Mm-hmm.
time pressure sort of thing, is it? So
We were going to search your
no.
storeroom, Miss Emily. Would you care to give us a tour?
She can certainly do that. Um,
We're
so
picking up an NPC.
yeah, you got an NPC. It's like I've got her stats. So if you get into a fight, if he gets killed, well, we'll work that out. No problem.
Stand behind me, Miss Emily.
No, she's actually very low maintenance. I mean,
Okay.
in D&D terms, she would almost low level mage. But I mean, so that's just my interpretation. So she leads you to the storeroom. Typical storeroom. You got barrels, you got sacks of flour, you've got crates, all the staple goods that an inn would need. And
Oh, look,
there's,
black mold and rat poop.
yeah, exactly. That too. So you've
I
also
think
got things like salted pork, preserves. You've got jars of preserves. Like there's everything that you imagine in a storeroom on something like Little House in the Prairie or something like that is here. So everything that would be needed on a regular basis. And there's also some, there's a little crate in the corner that has apples and things like that. It's a fairly cool room. So everything is here. So what would you want to look for first? I saw an animal there. Did I see something on your shoulder there, Lenny?
Oh, yeah, that was my kitten.
Oh,
Check.
cool.
He was trying to get out the door, so I had to grab him real quick.
Is it a black kitten?
Yes. All black. He's got like one little white spot on his chest, which is kind of funny because my black lab is like the same way, all black except like one little white spot.
My partner has two house panthers, so I mean, so two blacks. So I just saw, oh, there's a cat. But anyway, so they're very cute. So It's probably a 12 by 12 room. There's lots of shelves and there's crates and everything. So it's stuff. So what would you want to start looking at?
Doctor, do you see anything that stands to your attention immediately?
Um, God, I in a storeroom. I don't.
If you
I don't.
want to, Isaac, you could make a lore knowledge roll to sort of tap into
Sure.
your or your
Yeah.
first aid to tap into your medical knowledge
Yeah.
to
No, I think first. Oh God, where's the notebook now? Damn it! I'm so sorry. I was so excited to find this thing, and now I've set it somewhere. Um. Okay, here it is. Okay, so
Should we
let's
provide
see.
helping things to her that
absolutely you
down?
can. Yep. Anyone who wants to help you, up to three people can help in a roll. So if you want to help,
So
Wait, first aid isn't actually a thing, but oh, healing.
healing is.
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
healing
I'll,
would be a better roll. Yeah.
So
I'll just
that
be moving things for her. Them.
healing is my healing plus my empathy.
Hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's like 8 dice. Let me
And if
just
you got a
add that in there.
helper, you got 9. And if Malachi wants to help you, you got
Okay.
another one. So that's 10.
Oh,
10
Absolutely.
that's
d6.
10 dice. Okay, so that's 10 d6s, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
There you go. Roll them.
Okay. All right. Okay.
The skill rolls are the funnest part of it.
You can borrow some if you need.
Four, five. Oh no, that's okay. I just have to pluck them out of the side of my dice box. All right.
All good.
These are all
All
my
good.
magpie dice collected over years and years and years of running games for the Magengon. So okay. Well, I need to get 6s, is that right?
Yep. You
5s or
need
6s or just only 6s? Okay.
only 6s.
Oh,
This
only
is not
6s. Okay.
this is not tiny d6.
Oh, okay. Okay, I've got 2 6s out of all
All
of
right.
those. Okay.
Putting on my
Yep.
period glasses here to have a look. Um, so what you have discovered is that one, some of the sacks of flour have been moved around after being stored. So you can see their drag marks. And you have also found out that some of the sacks of flour, because back in the day they would have been stitched shut, they have been restitched.
Hmm.
Okay. Wait, so some of the sacks of flour have been restitched? What was the other thing?
That some of the sacks of flour have been moved around. So not only have they been moved around, that they've been restitched.
Oh, that is extremely suspicious. Like, the only time you ever remake flour sacks is if you're making them into something else. You don't need to repair flour sacks. Like, that's so weird. That's so, yeah, I'm like sus. I immediately put it to the others and I'm just like, there's no one in town who don't eat bread or pancakes or something. There's, yeah, if you wanted something to get to just about anybody, you'd do that.
So there's obvious evidence that
Tampering.
some sacks of flour have been tampered with.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do?
Miss
Uh,
em-
uh,
Miss Emily, who else would have access to this room?
Well, my brother Matthias, myself, and Adam comes in to drop off supplies.
Adam. Hmm.
Adam.
Wow.
We take fingerprints.
Hmm.
Just kidding.
And
Ooh,
that's all.
DNA test.
And that's all. You're sure. Well,
I'll,
in
I'll
what
point out.
manner? In what manner do you secure his entry? Is it that he is the only one who has a key, or do you meet him at the door and let him in?
Adam also has a key to access the outside door because there's a door from the inside of the tavern to get to the storeroom, and there's also an external door that goes to the outdoors. So Adam has a key to open up the external door to go in and drop off supplies.
Is it all the flour that's been tampered with, or just certain sacks of flour?
I think certain sacks,
Okay. I'll
but
point them out. Go for it.
okay. So she looks at the flour and she says, maybe we should open up those sacks of flour to see what exactly has happened to them.
That's what Emily says.
Yeah.
So they don't like escort him personally in there. He just has a key, and they trust that like
Yeah.
he keeps his own key and wouldn't lend it to anyone else. All right.
He,
Yeah, like
So
a
yeah,
the
he,
port.
he
doctor's
has
immediately
his own
like,
key. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
He,
So the doctor's immediately like, okay, so our security here is very hackable immediately. It's like just like, well, that's not how I would lock up my morphine, but okay, you do you kids.
1810 standards here,
Yeah,
but
no, like yeah, it should be fine. Yeah,
I
makes
mean,
sense.
nine
Makes sense.
nine times out of 10, it probably is fine. So
Yeah, yeah, when people aren't
so
in cults.
so Emily pulls out a knife and cuts open one of the sacks of flour that you
Yeah,
point out has been, and she opens it up,
yeah.
and so she has a look, and all right, we just get her stats here.
Mhm.
Okay, 3, and
And
then
I'll lift and offer help to her as well, doing
okay, an
whatever I
extra
can do.
die. Oh, I don't think I can find anything untoward here. I didn't roll any 6s, so
Okay.
Mind if I have a look?
go ahead. Does anyone want to help John?
I will also help John by just whatever he needs, clearing things, lifting things, moving things, just being a second pair of hands to do whatever he needs. I want to be helpful
Mhm.
now that I'm
So,
retired.
may I have a roll, please?
Yeah.
Not a drum roll.
Oh, and a stress die there, but yeah, there's a 6, and that's not a 1. Okay, so I got 1 success on my observation.
Okay. Now that you know what to look for,
Mm.
looking in the flour, you find very, 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 very tiny flecks of green mixed amongst the flour.
Um, he would definitely point this out to the others. Whether it was he may have like scooped some out somehow, and after taking a good look, he shows you these green flecks in the flour. This may be what we were looking for.
That's damnable. Who was doing this?
So, Jack, Isaac can
Mhm.
make a first aid roll
Oh hell yeah.
to
Okay,
do
so I
an
need to.
analysis based
All
on
right.
that information.
Okay, so it's
Is
too late. I
first aid
don't have any
different than
help.
healing?
It's
Sorry?
healing. Just healing.
Yeah, healing. Sorry. Yeah, healing.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Brain fart.
Do I have help on? That's okay. Do I have help on this one?
Yes, you can. And actually,
Okay.
Emily can help as well. So,
Okay, so I'm acting 2 extra dice.
actually, if
I'll help.
John and Malachi help, you can have 3 extra dice,
Ooh, okay.
Absolutely.
which
All
is
right.
the maximum in the game, to be honest.
Oh, nice. Okay. Oh my God. Well, it did pay off. Let's see. One. Let's see. All right. Well, I got four successes.
Oh my
Wow.
God. Okay.
I
Wow.
know.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. With that information and with
Yeah.
Isaac's
So he
medical
takes his
knowledge,
time. Yeah. Hmm.
so those green flecks are
Yeah.
actually tiny flecks of green wallpaper.
No. So
And
it's arsenic.
yes, I was
Of
about to get that.
fucking
You
course.
made the connection.
Yeah, of course it's arsenic. Yeah, yeah, of course.
It's
Yeah,
So,
Seinfeld.
well,
so
no, that's
you have
that's
you
the
you ha-
green.
you have yep. So you have conclusive proof that the tampered sacks of flour
Yeah.
have been contaminated with arsenic
Hmm.
from the green
Yeah.
wallpaper.
And I think he just carefully, like, he puts it like through his fingers and smells it and even tastes a little bit, and then he just looks up and he goes, "That's arsenic."
That's dreadful.
Of
Let's
course
go.
it is. And how much were they given to make them get sick so quickly? How?
Well, that's you don't know about that. I mean, like each of
Yeah.
those sacks have been restitched. So
Yeah. No, but the
you don't
people
know
who
how
do
much is
get
there, but
get
you
sick
know that
very quickly. I'm just like,
yeah,
well, holy crap, what were
bread's
they eating?
but they've made
Yeah,
bread with it. They've made pies with it.
exactly.
They've made
Yeah,
it's
cake, pancake, like who even knows?
All of it.
And it's
Yeah.
not like
and
whoever's doing this is being careful with the dosage, right? So
and
like,
half of the
oh my
sacks of
God.
flour are contaminated.
Yeah. And instantly, I think you guys see Isaac like change because he's always very mild mannered. You see him like instantly, and he's struggling because he doesn't walk that well. He's gonna try to like haul him outside and literally just like take his knife and like cut them open and just make sure that they're completely destroyed and like strewn on the ground. Mhm. As long as this place is not anywhere near like a stream or anything.
No, it's just
Okay.
open land. Yeah.
I will
Okay.
dig
Yeah.
a
Well, if there
hole.
aren't any animal pens or any streams nearby, he'll just like
I
cut
will
them
dig a
open
hole for
and
you to bury this abomination.
okay, great. Amazing. Yeah, he's just gonna haul all the ones outside and be just like
John uses his
disgusting.
military experience and digs a 3 foot hole in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay,
So yeah, you dispose of the contaminated flour,
cool.
and Emily is horrified once the connection is made. She said, "I had no idea that we had this poison in our
Well, it's
flour.
not
We
yeah,
made bread, we made pies for people.
well,
It's time to go
how
gluten
often
free.
how often do you really look at flour? I know no one
It
tries.
never occurred to
Hmm,
any of us." She said,
well, why
"I
would
must
it?
go tell my brother right now." So she
Ah,
goes off, and you hear some voices, and Matthias comes out and
what?
says, "Is this true? Have is so much of my flour contaminated?"
Mm-hmm.
Afraid so.
Probably half of it
Oh
at
my
least.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
It's that damn
To,
green.
to think that so many people have fallen ill by the things that my mother made with love. It burns my soul that this has happened. Please get to the bottom of this. Please. We
I
are
will
the
look
soul
into
of
it.
the community.
It's
I don't know
time
what to
to
do.
seek out Mr. Metzger again. If
They
you
want to
see, if you
change
could,
those laws.
yes, do not be trusting anyone else but yourselves with the key to your own store.
I will definitely ensure that if young Adam shows up, I will definitely take the key away from him. To think that I trusted him with my well-being. His
You had no
family had
reason not
fallen on
to.
such hard times to
Yeah.
abuse the trust like that. I don't know what to
Looking at
say.
me, I'm like, who even is this guy?
But why?
Hmm.
Why would he do such a thing?
Could
And
it be
my
Good
that
family
folk.
has shown him nothing but kindness.
No, you won't understand and you can, because good folk don't understand the minds of those who ain't. So don't worry about it too much. Some folk don't think of hurting others and others do. So just keep on as you are and pray for yourself or something. I'm going. I can't make sense of
Do
this for you. Like,
do we?
you're cool.
Oh, go finish. I'm sorry.
I will pray for his soul. Though he has done an evil deed, I do know him and I have known him for a long time. And I know that he is not an evil man. I am convinced that whatever drove him to do what he has done, it was not of his own devising.
could it be the influence of Nathaniel from that cathedral in the woods?
Maybe, I mean, he. There was a change since he started going to the sermons. He
It
did
usually
tell
is.
me that he had found a new purpose in life, and I assumed that it was a good thing that he had found the light of God, as we all seek. Well, I commend you on your work. Thank you for what you have found. All I ask, from whatever you must do, please do not punish Adam too harshly. He is, at his core, a good man, apparently led astray. I would have him return to family of good. I would welcome him back if he forswears whatever led him to what he has become. And his younger brother and sister are good people and do not deserve to fall upon hard times. This is
That
all
would
I
be
ask, whatever it is you
that,
have to do.
that would be a noble thing indeed, but still, keep the key to yourself.
That I shall do. And it seems
And
apparent that, come what may, you must go seek out Nathaniel. I have never gone to see his sermons, so I know they usually are held in the evenings. And the hour grows late. I do not know if he is having a sermon tonight, but perhaps it may be best to strike out tomorrow. There is enough done tonight, but I leave that up to you.
well, what say you folk? Didn't we know where Metzger was headed after we talked to him?
No, he
Mm-mm.
didn't. You never asked him where he was going.
We assumed he was going home, but I mean, could have gone.
Hmm. What time is it about now?
It's probably about 7 o'clock thereabouts. It's getting to dinner hour.
Well, I
You
know
can
where
have
I'm at.
you can have some uncontaminated food at at the inn at Potter's Tavern. Guaranteed not to be made
I
with
mean,
contaminated flour.
just doesn't
Yeah.
feel right not traveling around at night in Sleepy Hollow, though.
Yes, it does not seem safe, especially heading past what they tell me is where a great deal of trouble took place. We'd have to pass the headless horseman, the cemetery to and this mysterious grave they talk about to get to this cathedral. I'd rather do that at the daytime, unless absolutely necessary.
So, what do you guys wish to do?
I mean, I'll go wherever you guys go, but as far as the Isaac, like he went outside, like he didn't hear all that. Oh God, he would have been so mad to hear that. Like, oh, he's still a good person. He'd have been in like, man, that guy. He sounds. He is just. As far as he's concerned, he solved the mystery. He's done. He's done with this place. But he'll stick around for you guys out of loyalty to be like, okay, I'll see it through. So do whatever you guys want to do. But he's just like, I figured it out. I fixed it. Whatever you guys want to do. I solved the medical mystery.
Well done, Doctor. Well done indeed. Um, should we head
Well,
out to the Mesker's home to see if he's there at this time, or should we turn in?
and what do we plan to do there? What authority do we have? We are not lawmen. We are, we do not even live here. What do we plan to do? Challenge the boy? Strike him? Bear him out of his house and what? To the town square? To submit to the village's justice? We have no authority. Uh, we have nothing but violence if we choose to bring it to bear. And do we plan to do that? If we go there to confront him, we should know ahead of time what we plan to do. So, are we agreed on what we plan to do?
Well, at first we hope to gather from where he got the notion and inclination to do such a thing, and if we can
Is
ascertain
it
if it's his own motive or if he's being manipulated in any way.
all right? Do you plan to ask him plainly or go about it with false motive?
I had just reason to ask the man, actually.
Do you think
He's
that will get
being
you an
being
answer?
straightforward about it.
All right.
But you're perhaps right. I know not of these ways outside
Um,
the
you might get
civilian
more
life.
truthfulness if you thought that you were also of his bent inclination. But
Hmm.
I am I am sick of all of it. So do as you like. I will be there and I will back you. But I do not like it. It is just a rotten business altogether.
Agreed. It certainly is. Hmm.
Okay, so where do you wish to go?
Hmm.
Well, I think y'all wanted to turn in.
We could turn in. Yes, that might be the safest course of action to not be traveling at night in Sleepy Hollow. Um, it'd probably take 2 hours at 7 to get up to at least to get to where this cathedral is, so that puts us there really late, which is scary. So yes, do believe it best we don't do that travel until the morning. Um,
You guys can make an idea roll, which is a straight wits roll, if you wish. Like
Yes.
no skill, just raw wits.
I got a 6 and a 2.
Okay.
Did anyone else get a 6?
Uh, what's that roll? It's just how many dice?
Just a
It's just
straight wits roll. So
Let me look.
whatever
oh.
you're yeah.
Ooh, okay.
That's
Okay.
that's that's my own little rules mod that I've created.
No successes for me, sadly.
Okay. How about you, Lenny?
I got one.
Okay. So the one thought that came to mind is that it may be unsafe to go into the woods, but perhaps you could ride down to the Metzger farm to see what's going on there. Adam might be home. And if so, you could
Yeah.
confront him there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No,
Well,
I wasn't objecting to doing it. I was just saying if we're gonna do that, we should have a real clear idea about like the plan before we go. Cause like we have no legitimate claim to any kind of, you know, like we
Well,
don't even live here.
regardless
Yeah.
of
Mm-hmm.
why he did it, we should at least try and talk him into turning himself in.
hmm. Well,
Okay.
I do have an association, if only uh, inaugural. I just started with the local town militia.
Oh, you
They
did?
know,
Okay.
like, because as I came into town, that's the first thing I tried to join up with. But
Oh.
they're very, very, very sort of loosely gathered, to say the least. So,
Oh, okay. All right.
um,
Okay.
I can whip them into
Oof.
shape. I just haven't done it yet.
Oh boy. Okay. So, all right. The doctor's like, well, hmm, all right. So,
Look,
if the boy
Don't worry.
does refuse to go, do we lay hands on him ourselves to make it happen? Or do we turn our backs and go away, knowing
I
that
would.
then he has full freedom to run to his allies and warn them that
We
the
are too.
town knows?
Yes, I would say that our means of peacekeeping has yet to acknowledge the pitfalls of evidence being circumstantial, as it were. What we do have is a man with green wallpaper who can't afford
Hmm.
it, and flecks of green wallpaper contaminating the flour that only this man has access to. I am inclined to pursue apprehension based on that alone. And
Men have hung for less. Not by me. All right.
I would throw that decision on other folk, but to at least see if it stops the problem,
Sure.
putting a bandage on that connection.
All right. Let's go then.
Yeah! And he whips his
Okay.
horses.
Okay,
Honestly, it's just like
so
I just don't want to have that conversation once we get there. That's the thing to avoid.
Wait, are we doing
so
this? We're
you
doing this. Come with us.
you're
I
doing
guess we're doing this. I guess we're gonna go
so
to a
you make
citizen's arrest. Jeez.
I think we can appeal to his humanity.
And I am
Oh
speaking
my
on behalf of
god.
the town militia.
Oh my god.
I
so
am the town militia.
you make your way with all speed to the Metzger farm, and there are some lights in the little wooden house. that are
Mhm.
on. So you know there are lanterns burning. So you pull up in John's carriage, and so you pull up to a stop, and assuming you go to the door,
Hmm.
what do you do?
Do we hear any commotion going on inside as we
It seems
come to the door?
it's, it seems quiet.
I mean, has anyone, as we approached, come out and saw the wagon
No,
approaching? No. Okay.
no.
Um, I'd knock on the door. I think he's going to be very forthright about this.
Okay, so you knock on the door, and
Oh
Anna
wait, I'm
is
looking at
young.
my talents. I'm looking at my talents. It does say assassin, so maybe I am being a little bit more
Oh.
sneaky. Maybe I will check out. I will peruse before I knock on the door. I will
Okay,
peruse
you
the
can do
back door.
that. You can do
Okay.
that. Give me an observation roll then,
Observation is going to
please.
be a
Is there any
1
way, is there any way
plus
I can help with
2.
that? Or
You can, yeah, I'll let you help.
All right.
Bonus die, roll them. Let's see what we got here.
A 5, a 5, a 5, and a 2.
Nope.
I'll take a stress die.
Okay, you're gonna push it. Okay,
Yeah.
take a stress die, roll again. Add a stress die to the roll.
I got a 6.
All right.
nice.
So you were looking, you couldn't see anything, and you said, okay, there's got to be something going on here. So you lean up even more heavily into the window to have a look, and you risk exposure, but you didn't. You obviously you did not get seen. And looking inside the house, you can see there's a fire in the fireplace, and you see Jacob and Anna, Adam's two younger siblings, um, reading books by the fireside. You don't see Adam in evidence in the main family room.
Mm.
No,
Well,
Adam.
he's you don't know if he's upstairs or not, but he's not on the main floor.
Okay. So if I don't see him, I don't. Uh, uh, I'll point that out. He doesn't seem to be visible on the lower half, and nothing seems to be going on in the back. So perhaps we should knock. And I'll go to knock.
Okay, so knock, knock, knock. And after a few seconds, the door of the latch gets drawn and opens up, and Anna is there, and she looks at you and says, "Sir, I remember you. How can I help you? And good
I
evening, by the way."
Grinning to yourself. Sorry to call upon you twice in the same day. Is your brother Adam? Is he home at the moment?
No, he told us that he was going to be at a service this evening.
Uh, what have you seen your brother? Have you seen your brother doing anything with green wallpaper?
Oh, yes, he has brought it home a few times, and he takes it up to his room upstairs. He never lets us in to see what he's doing.
I'm
We didn't think
What?
anything of it.
I'm afraid it's
Yeah,
important,
no.
and on behalf of the militia, we're going to have to look in that room. You don't mind, do you?
No, his room and he's not home. Please go have a look. And she steps aside.
Okay. Is there a check for traps?
You can do an observation roll.
Perhaps we should look and make sure we're not walking into a trap. Mr. Smith, Mr. Isaac, would you care to help me look for anything
Of
overly
course.
suspicious?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm helping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And I will roll wits with 2 extra dice and my stress. Do I have to keep rolling with stress?
Yep.
Okay.
Don't roll a 1, whatever you do.
I rolled a 6 on the stress. I got 2 other 6s, one from help and one from myself.
Nice.
All right, good. So you go upstairs and to Adam's room, and it's a small room in the back corner, and there's a bed, a nightstand, and there's a little work table, and you can see a few rolls of green wallpaper. By the way, there's no green wallpaper on the walls anywhere that you can see.
Oh my
And
god.
you see that he's been chopping and tearing and grinding up the paper into a fine green powder.
Crime photos, everyone. This guy.
Yeah, and there are little jars of green powder.
There's all the evidence.
Yep.
Yes. We will take a jar, at least a jar. Is there anything else particularly culty or
Particularly
Cathedral of the
culty.
Woods?
Yeah. Hmm.
Any sort of ledger?
I'm gonna
Um,
look under his bed.
My
you
cult said,
all of you could make observation rolls. And
Sure.
actually, Malachi,
Mm.
because of his proclivities, can have a bonus 2 to the roll, an extra 2 dice.
thank you.
Because Malachi especially will know what to look for.
I don't think all these dice fit in my hand.
I got a 6 on
Oh
my
my god.
stress roll.
Okay.
Sick. No. All right, I got one success.
Okay. How
I
about
like
you,
flip.
Isaac?
So if you don't have any observation, then it's just a straight wits roll, right?
Yeah.
One success.
Okay. So you all succeed. So you notice there is a few sheets of paper, and it's written out. It looks like the text. At first glance, it looks like it's something out of the Bible because you've got verses that are numbered and everything. But when you look more closely, you see that the text that's written down does not appear in the Bible anywhere. And it talks about other things. It talks about things like the winnowing. It talks about that which must stand for judgment, and only those found worthy shall remain, and thus shall the winnowing pass through, and the strong shall inherit. So that's what
Novus
Isaac
Dino.
and John find,
Yeah.
but what Malachi finds,
Oof.
you find the same texts, but you also find other illustrations and diagrams, and you don't know whether it's by Adam's hand or somebody else's, but you very clearly recognize the symbols that are described, and they point to the existence of something that exists between the minutes of time that watches and judges.
What? That's creepy. Dang.
In all my readings, I haven't come upon anything like this. This is very disconcerting.
Now, you don't know whether this is written in Adam's hand or not because you've never seen his writing. But Malachi, you can make another observation roll if you want.
Same 2 bonus or just regular?
Just regular. This is not something that anyone can help you with.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
Luke Baby Rave. That's another success.
Okay. You do recognize in looking at all the writings that this is not something that Adam would have written, because the way it is written and the way it is structured is written by the mind of someone who has had formal education.
Mm-hmm.
This is the product of someone who has been formally schooled and has read widely. Not to denigrate Adam, but Adam would never have written stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. The type, the language, the wording, the vocabulary. This is the product of a very educated and refined mind.
This this reminds me of the indoctrination material and rituals.
Exactly. Exactly.
Adam is the beloved uneducated in this, being
Ooh.
manipulated far more educated.
Mm-hmm.
Even being educated, it's can be easy to be manipulated sometimes. He kind of get Malachi will kind of get quiet after saying that first. Kind of look down.
So that's what
That
you
is,
found.
as you have atoned for your sins, perhaps there's still time to save young Adam.
Still seeking.
Let us seek out this cathedral in the wood. If there is a source of this, such a contamination on Adam's soul, causing a contamination on this town's soul, it would come from this outsider, I would think.
Okay, so with this revelation, are you going to go seek out the cathedral in the woods
Well, we gotta.
at this time of night? Okay.
God damn it.
Oh, we gotta.
And that,
Well, wait.
that
I mean,
yes.
we got it, but like, oh, we really shouldn't do it in
Disagreeing
the
at
middle of the
all.
night, y'all. Like,
Yep.
we really should wait till morning, though. Oh, there was one thing. The girl Emily, I think you said her name was, or Anne, or
Emily.
Emily's
Yeah.
the one that's
Emily
with us.
Van Brunt.
Miss
Yeah,
Van Brunt.
No,
Emily.
Emily Van Brunt's the one that's with us. His sister, Adam's sister. I tell
Oh.
her to shut his door and not to open it again, and not to let anyone else in there. And like, don't go
So-
into herself, and don't let anyone else in there, and especially not to let Adam go in there himself. I say it's very important.
I'm going to
Okay.
revise, and you know what? I'm going to think on it a second, and I'm going to take all the green wallpaper out of here.
Okay.
I'll help you.
I think we should
There's
leave
about
the evidence there, so that like the magister or whoever can see, like, in his room, as proof that he was doing stuff with it. But then again, maybe she could clean it out to protect him. So I don't
Or
know.
maybe
Like,
Yeah,
do you
back
think
then
we
they
have
wouldn't.
enough trust? Do you think we have enough trust that if we were like, we found it there, they would believe us?
perhaps on our way to the cathedral in the wood, we could rouse the militia and present what we have
Yeah.
found.
Okay. I think we need to do that first. I think we absolutely do. Because if somebody got this, if we take it out of that room, we need to go. Like, we need to be honest that like our first action was to appeal to the law. If we're gonna do this
okay.
right.
Jenny,
All
Okay.
right.
Anna, have you learned your letters?
Yes, I have, sir.
I'm going to write out a statement on this piece of parchment that you will witness by signing. And we are claiming these bits of green wallpaper and the powder that your brother seems to have been making. We are removing this, and you will bear witness that we have done this.
Yes, sir. I will do that. Has
Awesome.
Adam done something wrong?
I don't believe he is. I believe he is the
Yes.
hand doing something wrong, being controlled by a far greater,
Yes.
and yet he is still doing something wrong. Yes.
God. Isaac's just like, don't confuse her like
I
that. Just
Your
I
your
hope
yeah,
you
brother
can
is
save him.
terrible.
This is our
Adam's a
hope.
good Adam's a good
you,
brother.
whether or not he is a good brother, it is your decision now. How you act and what comes next. He may ask you to protect him or to take some action in his defense. So you must decide if you will agree to do that or not. So just
If
know
if
that,
if
in,
my brother is hurting people, that's
yes,
wrong.
well, yeah, he was. And over time, deliberately, again and again and again,
Have you
with
witnessed a
forethought.
change?
So,
Yes. Yes, he has. He has. Have you witnessed a change in your brother at all?
Ever since he started going to the sermons, he's been a lot quieter at home. He spends a
mhm,
lot more time up in his room. He doesn't play with us like he used to.
huh,
I always
yeah.
thought that he just had a lot on his mind because there's a lot of money to pay to keep things
Uh,
going, and Mama's still sick.
mm, how? How is she sick?
She hasn't been arisen from her bed in a long time.
How long before he started going to the sermons?
Oh, at least 6 months. Adam goes in and gives Mama food, and we do see
Wait,
her from time to
do
time.
you, does Adam, is Adam the only one who takes her meals? Oh
Well,
my God.
yes.
Not you? Not ever
No,
you?
no.
Oh
Adam,
God.
Adam told us that Mama's in a bad way, and we didn't
Listen to
need to
me,
see
girl.
her.
No, you listen to me now. Never again. You take her food. You make it, you take it. From now on, only you. And you go to a neighbor's to get her food. From now on.
Dr. Isaac,
No,
perhaps we should
you
check
listen
the
to me.
stores. We should check the stores here to see if he's.
We will
Okay.
go to a neighbor and ask them to give you food for the next week. And you feed her from that until we find you a new, well, everything you need. Adam does not bring her food again, no matter what happens to him. Will you mind me?
Yes, doctor.
All right. There's a
I
good
will
girl.
follow you.
Good. And he just leaves the house going, like shaking his head. Damn. God damn. And he says, husbands, usually husbands. And then I understand. Usually there's a good reason. The man is a drunk or rude or. But this, his good mother, why? He's just shaking his head. Well, whatever we're doing, let's do it and see it done.
I'm gonna run to their kitchen and grab their flour and show it to the
Yeah,
doctor and see if it's the poison is in there too.
yeah.
You can make a roll.
Oh my
Make a healing
God.
roll. Make
Honestly,
an
I don't
observation
even
roll.
want to. I don't even want to. I just want to get rid of it. I'm not. I just. I'm just gonna get rid of it. I'm not even gonna look. I'm
Okay.
too mad. Yeah. It's one bag of flour. Like I will pay
John,
for it. I don't care.
John
Like
brings you flour, you suck it up.
my soul cannot handle the damage it will take upon confirmation. I just like I can't. Like when she said,
Okay.
"Oh yeah, he brings our mother all the food." Isaac was just like, "Oh, I'm so fucking done with this place. This place is so evil. I hate it so much." So he's like, "I saw war, but this is worse."
Okay. You dispose of all the flour.
Yeah. Well, that was in their house. Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
And yeah, let's head to rouse up some members of the militia and
Yeah.
present this to them and see if they want
They're-
to.
Yep,
And
the little
put them
jars
in,
of ground up
yeah.
arsenic. Putting
And
wallpaper
then
into bread.
head
God
out in
damn it.
force. Head out in
Mhm.
force to the cathedral in the woods with as many militias as can come with us.
All right. So this is where we will leave it. So we have set the stage for the final confrontation. Well done, everyone.
Mhm.
This has actually turned out to be even better than I originally planned it to be. So I pinged Rachel to let her know that we'll need one more session.
Okay.
And I think this next session will be the final setup for everything and the final
Mhm.
confrontation and the
Yeah.
climax.
I knew it.
So I
glad.
am very happy with how organically the story went.
Yay.
So I want to say thank you,
Yay.
all of you, for coming tonight. This has been a
Did you get
blast.
us? Yay! Did you get us on track eventually? Seems like
Yep.
it.
No, I figured, honestly, I figured about a half hour in, I thought, yeah, they're not. I mean, it's not a judgment. It's like, yeah, there's no way they're
Mhm.
going to get to the end.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, the revelation and the teasing out of the details, I think that's worth
Mhm.
the time, and it's worth.
Yeah.
It's like savoring a fine wine. You know, you just sip and you
Mhm.
enjoy, you draw it out, and I think that is more worthwhile.